Imagine this. You're asleep, totally unaware, but something, well, critical is happening to your muscles. Especially once you hit 60, it's often not just aging causing them to disappear. It's a silent process, fueled by something missing while you sleep. And get this, the unsettling truth. Seniors can lose up to 3% of their strength every single year, often without knowing why.
Exactly. And we're not just talking about feeling a bit weaker, or maybe a little more tired. Once this silent muscle loss hits a certain point, the real danger just skyrockets. We mean a serious increase in falls, fractures become much more likely, and ultimately, well, it's that heartbreaking loss of independence. And the core issue, this is the real eye-opener, a staggering 93% of adults over 65 are missing at least one of 7 key vitamins. Vitamins absolutely crucial for protecting and rebuilding muscles overnight.
So today in this deep dive, our mission is pretty clear. We want to uncover these 7 most powerful vitamins seniors really must consider taking before bed. We're going to rank them, least to most important, and it's all based on some frankly, shocking science that 99% of seniors probably haven't heard. The goal here is simple. Give you a shortcut, a way to be well-informed about fighting this critical overnight muscle loss and reclaiming your strength, maybe starting tonight. All right, let's peel back the layers here. Let's uncover these hidden powerhouses, starting with vitamin number 7. This one is a truly underrated mineral for muscle repair that, well, you've probably ignored your whole life.
We are talking about magnesium, and it's not just, any supplement. Magnesium is really a core piece of your muscle's overnight repair system. Think of it like a calm signal for your muscles, helping them release tension after a day's work. But more deeply, it activates a whole family of enzymes right inside your muscle tissue. Enzymes essential for cell hydration and how your muscles use oxygen. For the best results, you really want magnesium glycinate. Most other forms, they just don't absorb well enough to make a real difference.
Okay, so if magnesium is this calm signal, what actually happens when we don't have enough? Especially while we're sleeping. Like, what are the real consequences for our muscles then?
That's where it gets really interesting. Without enough magnesium, your muscles literally can't fully relax. They stay tight, they get crampy, dehydrated, and that leads to significant weakening, particularly overnight. And this timing is crucial because your muscles go into their main recovery state when you sleep. That's when your parasympathetic nervous system, the body's rest and repair branch, is supposed to take over. Magnesium is basically the fuel for this whole repair phase. Without it, that vital process gets delayed. It leaves your muscles vulnerable, contributing to serious loss over time.
Right. So for anyone who's ever woken up with that horrible Charlie horse, leg twisting up in the middle of the night, you're saying magnesium could be the key, not just avoiding that awful wake-up call, but actually boosting muscle function overall. What's the best way to take it then?
Exactly, and the science really backs this up. There was a study from the University of Palermo. It showed seniors over 65 who took 250 milligrams of magnesium glycinate every night for 3 months. They saw a 34% increase in morning muscle function, 34%. And that same group, they reported significantly fewer leg cramps, less joint stiffness, and even better sleep. So the practical tip is pretty straightforward. Take magnesium glycinate about 30 minutes before bed, use a small glass of warm water, and this part's important, specifically not with food or things like almonds, spinach, or even your multivitamin. Those can actually interfere with absorption.
Okay, next up, let's dive into a vitamin I kind of think of as the power cord for your muscles' electrical system. What are we talking about here?
You've landed on vitamin B12. Its role is just critical, absolutely critical, because without it, your brain signals, they just can't travel efficiently down your nerves to tell muscles what to do, move, repair, grow. And this becomes a huge problem, especially for seniors, for a surprising reason. As we age, our stomach acid often drops. And you actually need that stomach acid to release B12 from the food you eat so your body can absorb it, which means many seniors aren't getting enough, even if they're eating B12-rich foods.
The silent destroyer of muscle strength. That's a powerful phrase. Why is it so silent at first? And what are some of those, early, maybe subtle signs our listeners should really look out for, beyond just feeling generally weak?
Yeah, it's insidious because it creeps up so slowly. You don't really feel it initially. Then one day you start noticing. Something feels off. Maybe your legs feel heavy. A subtle change in balance. Or that really unsettling feeling like you're walking through wet cement, that sense of dragging your feet, or needing unusual effort for simple movements. That's often how it manifests early on. There was a large study from Tufts University. It found 39% of older adults who had muscle weakness were also B12 deficient. 39%. And another report, this one in the Journal of Neurology, showed seniors taking high-dose methylcobalamin, that's the active body-ready form of B12. They saw an incredible 49% improvement in nerve muscle coordination in just 8 weeks.
49%. Wow, that is a huge jump. And why nighttime? Why is taking B12 at night specifically so good for this nerve-muscle connection?
Right, the timing is key. Taking B12 at night, especially sublingually, that means dissolving it under the tongue, it actually bypasses the digestive system entirely. So it supports nerve repair directly during your deepest sleep cycles, which is exactly when your body performs that crucial neurological maintenance. So for a practical tip, just place a 1,000 microgram methyl B12 tablet under your tongue, maybe an hour before sleep. Let it fully dissolve. No water needed for this one.
All right, on to the next vitamin. Let's challenge a really common belief here. Many of us, we hear D3 and we think bones immediately. But our research uncovered something deeper, more surprising about its role in muscle strength. What's the real story?
You're absolutely right to question that. For older adults, thinking D3 is only for bones is, well, dangerously incomplete. It can cost you real muscle. See, D3 isn't just a vitamin. It's actually a hormone, and it directly activates specific genes right inside your muscle fibers. These genes are like the instruction manual, telling your body to grow new tissue, store energy efficiently, and resist breaking down. When your D3 levels are low, those essential genes basically stay switched off, and your muscles shrink faster. And maybe even worse, low to D3 deactivates your fast-twitch muscle fibers. Those are the quick response fibers you absolutely need for good balance, for climbing stairs easily, and reacting fast to, say, prevent a fall.
That's a really crucial point. The D3 levels drop overnight. Can you explain why that overnight period is so critical for protein synthesis? Like, what's happening in our muscles then that D3 is influencing so much?
Exactly. When your blood stores of D3 are low to begin with, those levels drop quite a bit overnight. And that's precisely when your body is supposed to be in its prime time for protein synthesis, for rebuilding. See, during sleep, D3 tells your muscle cells to grab onto amino acids, the building blocks of protein, and use them to rebuild tissue. Without enough D3, that vital rebuilding process just doesn't happen effectively. It slows right down. There was a randomized controlled trial in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology. It showed seniors taking 2,000 IU of D3 daily for 12 weeks increased their lower limb strength by 18%. And another study, this one from Switzerland, found that older adults with the lowest D3 levels were actually twice as likely to suffer muscle loss severe enough that they needed mobility aids. Twice as likely.
Wow, that really connects D3 directly to preventing falls and maintaining independence. So for people ready to put this into action, what's a concrete step?
Well, D3 is fat soluble. That means it works much better when you pair it with some healthy fats. So a really practical tip is to take it after dinner. Maybe with a small spoon of nut butter or even a little piece of avocado. Doing that can increase its absorption by over 60%. Pretty amazing difference.
Okay, vitamin number 4. This one acts like muscle armor. And most people don't even realize it plays this role.
That would be vitamin E. And for seniors, thinking of it as a shield for your muscles is a great analogy. This vitamin protects your muscle tissue from something called oxidative stress. You can think of oxidative stress like rust forming on metal. It's a process where unstable molecules, we call them free radicals, attack and damage healthy cells. Now, at night, when your body's in its deepest repair mode, that very repair process can actually create some inflammation. It's a natural byproduct. Vitamin E steps in right then, like a shield. It kind of wraps around your muscle cells and blocks that inflammatory damage before it takes hold.
So less rust on the muscles. What does that mean for someone day to day? What are the benefits they might actually feel?
Oh, the benefits are very tangible. We're talking less soreness after activity, more stable balance because your muscles recover better overnight, and muscles that just don't fatigue as quickly over time. This is especially important if you're recovering from exercise or maybe even an injury. There was a study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition. It found seniors with higher vitamin E intake had 27% better physical performance scores. That included things like grip strength and walking speed, better scores. And another study, this one from the University of Arkansas, showed that taking 400 IU of natural D-alpha tocopherol before bed significantly reduced overnight markers of muscle damage in older adults. I really want to stress that word, natural. It's crucial to use the natural form, D-alpha tocopherol, not the synthetic one, which is labeled D-alpha tocopherol.
Okay, why is that distinction so important between the natural and synthetic forms of vitamin E? And when's the ideal time to take it?
Well, the natural form, the D-alpha tocopherol, is just absorbed and utilized by your body much, much more effectively. The synthetic version often has what we call lower bioavailability. It just doesn't get used as well. So for the practical tip, take one soft gel of natural D-alpha tocopherol. Take it on an empty stomach about an hour after your last meal, right before you go to bed. That timing is key because that's when your muscles are typically deep in repair mode, and oxidative stress can hit hardest. So it's the ideal time for that protective shield.
Moving right along, vitamin B6, our number 3. You called it a hidden metabolism booster, silently fixing muscle loss while we sleep. Tell us more.
Yes, vitamin B6, you've probably seen it on multivitamin labels, maybe didn't think much of it. But for seniors, B6 is really like the key that starts your muscle building engine at night. Without enough B6, your body simply cannot process protein efficiently. It just can't. So it doesn't matter how much protein you eat, if your B6 is low, that protein can kind of float around unused. And your muscles, they keep shrinking. What makes B6 so special here is that it actively helps activate amino acid metabolism right inside the muscle cells. It helps convert the protein you eat into actual usable muscle tissue.
So hold on. If B6 helps process protein, does that mean someone could be eating, say, plenty of chicken or fish, but still not getting the muscle benefits if their B6 is low? How does it actually buffer against that muscle wasting you mentioned?
Precisely. That's exactly right. You could be eating a high-protein diet, doing everything else right. But if you're B6 deficient, it's like trying to build a house without the actual construction crew. The materials are there, but they can't be put together correctly. That's why B6 acts as this crucial long-term buffer against age-related muscle wasting, or sarcopenia. There was a study, European Journal of Clinical Nutrition. It showed older adults with higher B6 blood levels maintained 22% more lean muscle mass over a 3-year period. 22% more. And another Tufts University study showed that B6 supplementation helps slow down the rate of muscle protein breakdown during sleep by up to 18%. This is vital because nighttime is when your body naturally goes into anabolic mode. That's the rebuilding and repair state. B6 doesn't just support this, it makes it significantly more effective. And again, the form matters. It's important to look for P5P, or pyridoxal 5-phosphate. That's the active form your body can use immediately.
Okay, good tip on the P5P form. So for those looking to add B6 to their nightly routine, what's the best approach?
For B6, the practical tip is to take the P5P form on its own. About 60 minutes before bed is ideal, just with water. It's generally best not to take it with food. Food can actually reduce its absorption, especially in seniors whose digestion might already be a bit compromised.
All right, number 2. Our second most important vitamin is vitamin C. Now, you describe this as a sleep-triggering, muscle-restoring compound your body is starving for. It's probably not how most people think of vitamin C, right?
That's absolutely right. Most people still just think, oh, vitamin C for colds, maybe immune support. But the truth is, vitamin C is one of the most overlooked muscle-healing compounds for seniors, and it works particularly well right before bed. Why? Because it is absolutely essential for producing collagen. Collagen is the main protein that acts like the glue or the scaffolding that holds your muscles together. It provides their structure, their integrity.
Okay, so collagen is the glue. What happens then when we don't have enough? Yeah. How does that fragility, that lack of glue, show up for seniors in their daily lives?
Well, that's when you start seeing muscle fibers becoming fragile. They tear more easily, they recover much more slowly from minor strains or just daily use. And maybe, worst of all, they lose density. They actually shrink. That's when sarcopenia, that medical term for age-related muscle loss, really starts to accelerate. There was a landmark study, British Journal of Nutrition, found that older adults with the highest vitamin C intake had a 67% lower risk of significant muscle mass loss. 67%! That's huge! And get this, an Oregon State University study showed that even mild vitamin C deficiency led to a 25% drop in collagen synthesis within just 2 weeks. That means your body can't even properly patch up the tiny muscle damage that happens naturally every day. And when does your body do most of its rebuilding? During deep sleep. That's what makes nighttime vitamin C so incredibly powerful for muscle repair.
That's really fascinating. Okay, so quick question. What about people already taking collagen powder or maybe a protein shake before bed? How does vitamin C fit in there?
It's vital. Vitamin C actually activates the benefits of that collagen or protein if you're taking it before bed. Without sufficient vitamin C, those supplements just don't work as effectively. It helps your body utilize them properly for repair. So for a practical tip, buffered vitamin C or maybe liposomal forms are often gentler on the stomach, especially at night, and they tend to be better absorbed during sleep. Aim for about 1 gram, taken on an empty stomach, at least an hour after your last meal.
And now,
Yeah.
we arrived at number 1. The most important vitamin of all, according to this research, vitamin K2. You mentioned this one alone doubled overnight muscle loss when it was missing, and that 99% of seniors aren't taking it right or maybe even know what it does for muscles. Tell us about K2.
Yes, this is the grand finale, and it's one most people have likely never even heard of in this context. Yet, vitamin K2 is arguably the single most important vitamin seniors need at night to help stop muscle wasting. Here's the core reason. K2 basically acts like a traffic cop for calcium in your body. It controls where calcium goes. Without enough K2, calcium tends to end up where you absolutely don't want it depositing in your arteries, contributing to hardening and stiffness, and it bypasses where you desperately do want it, deposited into your bones, and crucially, into your muscle matrix. This leads to that dangerous scenario sometimes described as hard arteries and soft muscles. Not good. But when you have adequate K2, particularly taken at night, that calcium gets actively redirected right into the bone and muscle matrix, strengthening both their structure and their function.
Wow, it's incredible, isn't it, how one vitamin can essentially be a traffic controller for such a critical mineral. Changes how you think about calcium entirely. And you mentioned a really shocking finding about K2 deficiency doubling muscle loss. Can you expand on that? That sounds critical.
It is profound, really. The most shocking finding from recent research is that in subjects who were deficient in K2, their rate of overnight muscle protein breakdown literally doubled. So this isn't just about getting calcium into the body, it's about direction, making sure minerals end up in the right place to build strength, not cause problems. And think about this. Your muscle cells have tiny power plants inside them. They're called mitochondria. They generate energy. A recent study, this one in the journal Nutrients, showed seniors who supplemented with K2 for 12 weeks saw a 55% increase in the efficiency of those mitochondria inside their muscle cells. 55% boost in energy production at the cellular level. That means muscles burn energy better, they last longer, they resist fatigue more effectively. Another study found K2 supplementation improved leg muscle strength by 77% in older adults. And this was with no change in their diet or activity levels, just adding K2. And the best form for this, the one with the research behind it, is MK7. It's the long-acting and most bioavailable form.
37% strength improvement just from a vitamin.
Yeah.
That's remarkable. Okay, so for listeners ready to start, redirecting their calcium and boosting muscle strength with K2, what's the crucial practical tip? How should they take MK7?
Right. This is key for K2, specifically the MK7 form. It needs to be taken with fat to be absorbed properly. It's fat soluble. So the most effective way seems to be taking one capsule, usually around 100-200 micrograms, with a small spoonful of healthy fat right before bed. Think coconut oil, maybe a little peanut butter, even just a few nuts if that works for you. Taking it at night is ideal because that's when your body naturally goes into its mineral redistribution phase, rebuilding bones and muscles while you sleep. People often report a tangible difference over time, firmer feeling legs, stronger steps, and it contributes to reversing that long-term frailty risk.
Okay, that's incredibly helpful. Before we wrap up this deep dive, we want to make sure everyone gets the absolute most out of these powerful vitamins. So let's quickly cover 5 key tips to optimize their effectiveness. What's tip number 1?
Okay, first, always, and I mean always, take your fat-soluble vitamins with a little bit of healthy fat. We're talking about D3, K2, and E. Remember those? A small spoon of peanut butter, a few almonds, a piece of avocado, something like that. This simple step can boost their absorption by up to 70%. Without that fat, a lot of that good vitamin might just pass right through you unused.
70% boost just from a little fat. Got it. What's number 2?
Number 2, never take calcium supplements at the exact same time as zinc or magnesium. These minerals actually compete with each other for absorption pathways in your gut. If you take them all together, they can essentially cancel each other out, reducing how much of each your body actually gets. So the key is to space them out. Leave at least an hour, maybe even 2, between taking calcium and taking zinc or magnesium.
Okay, avoid mineral competition. Makes sense. Tip number 3.
Third, choose the active forms of these vitamins whenever you possibly can. We touched on this for a few. So that means looking for methyl B12, not the cheaper cyanocobalamin. Look for vitamin K2 as MK7, not just generic K or MK4. Choose magnesium glycinate, not oxide or citrate, which aren't absorbed as well by muscle tissue. And for B6, look for P5P, the active form. These active forms are basically body ready. They absorb better and they actually reach your muscles to do their job, bypassing some metabolic steps.
Active forms for better results. Good one. Number 4.
Fourth is simple, but maybe the hardest. Consistency. Take your vitamins consistently. Your body thrives on routine, especially for these overnight repair cycles. Missing just a few days here and there can really interrupt those crucial repair patterns you're trying to establish. So build it into your bedtime routine. Make it a habit you don't skip, just like, brushing your teeth.
Consistency is key. All right, and the final tip, number 5.
And fifth, stay hydrated. Water is crucial. It helps transport these vitamins through your bloodstream and actually get them into your cells where they need to work. So always take your supplements with at least a small glass of water. Please never dry swallow pills. It's not good for absorption and can irritate your throat.
Excellent tips. So just to recap for everyone listening, you've just explored the 7 vitamins that could genuinely change the way your body feels every single morning, potentially starting tonight. The hard truth is most seniors just don't realize how much underlying damage might be happening while they sleep. When muscle fibers can dry out, when protein synthesis naturally slows down, and inflammation can quietly take over without you even noticing.
But now you know there are ways to fight back, right? You've got the tools. Magnesium to unlock that repair process. B12 to power up your nerves. D3 to activate muscle growth genes. E to act as that cellular shield. B6 to actually build muscle tissue from protein. C to heal and strengthen with collagen. And finally, K2 to lock it all in place, directing minerals correctly. Every single one of these works differently. They each bring a unique piece to this puzzle of preserving muscle as we age. But the science suggests they work best together, and they all seem to work best at night. And this isn't just some theory, This is backed by clinical results and, more importantly, real-life changes reported by thousands of people.
So now it really is your turn. Think about it. What are you taking before bed? Even starting with just one small change tonight, adding one of these vitamins, could begin to slow down that muscle loss process tomorrow. And that directly impacts your long-term independence, your mobility, your freedom to live life fully. Something to really consider.